Welcome to Unit 4 in Christian Ethics. The reading that you just completed in preparation for this week on the impact of modernity and postmodernity on ethical thinking, as well as the reading that you will be doing this week regarding the Bible and ethics, both address the context of our moral development and the influences on the way we see and think about and respond to what we ought to do and who we ought to be. Worldview is a philosophical term that addresses the way we perceive and conceive the world, and so it helps us to understand this seeing and being influenced by what we see. James Sire, in his book Naming the Elephant, Worldview as a Concept, gives the following, and I think perhaps the best definition of worldview. He says, and I quote, "A worldview is a commitment, a fundamental orientation of the heart that can be expressed as a story or as a set of propositions, where propositions are assumptions that may be true, they may be partially true, or they may be entirely false." And so the worldview can be expressed as a story, that is, the story as we know, the gospel or any other story, and a set of propositions, which we hold to be true. Now, we hold them consciously, we hold them subconsciously, sometimes we hold them consistently, sometimes we hold them inconsistently, but we hold them nonetheless to be true about the basic constitution of reality. And that provides the foundation on which we live and move and have our being. I think Sire's definition helps us to understand how we are shaped by our ethic and how our worldview helps to shape our ethic. As such, it is incumbent on us to be thoughtful Christians and to do at least the following regarding worldview and ethics. First, we ought to understand as well as possible the worldviews that shape the morality of the culture in which we live. Understanding other worldviews not only helps us to understand why people believe what they believe, so that we can be effective evangelists and apologists, but it also helps us to see blind spots that we might have, which interfere with our ability to be faithful witnesses of Jesus Christ. Second, we ought to dig deeply into the Christian worldview for comprehension of its foundational convictions and the moral principles and rules that flow from it. And then third and finally, we ought to learn how to bring the two worldviews together in dialogue, advocating for the Christian worldview and Christian beliefs. I suppose the invitation is to know thyself, know thy neighbor, and know thy God. I'll see you next week.